Welcome into the halls of Spidal. I'm Kim Hendricks, Communications Director with the College of Human Sciences. In this feature, you will meet students, researchers, faculty, leaders who walk these hallways, taking life-changing steps while living into the mission of human sciences, improving quality of life for all, and changing the world. And I'm so excited to tell you our first guest for this new feature is Auburn SGA President Ada Ruth Huntley. Thank you so much, Ada Ruth, for doing this.
Yes, ma'am. Happy to be here.
It's been a little while since you've been in the hallway.
Yes, ma'am. I've definitely missed it.
I know. Well, you know, we're going to keep our social distance as we walk this hallway together and talk. And you recently did an interview about navigating the pandemic. Right now, I want to talk to you about the last 2 weeks.
Yes, ma'am.
And hard is an understatement, as the whole world watched the horrific death of George Floyd and then the resulting looting and the riots and now peaceful protests. Can you put words to your feelings, Ada Ruth, as you watch these last 2 weeks unfold?
Yeah, I have a very difficult time doing that. So I think the word difficult kind of just sums up, you know, how I've been feeling and how everything has been. You know, it's been difficult to watch the lynching of a man on your social media feed over and over and over again, and it's been difficult to try to be there and supportive of your friends and your colleagues and your family that are all experiencing the same feelings. And it's been difficult to press on and do this job and go about your everyday when you have all these feelings and things that are going on in your mind as well. So I've been very blessed to have an amazing team and advisors and administrators who've been so supportive of me during this time, so patient with me during this time, because I truly have needed it. It's been just a very difficult couple weeks.
Yeah, I'm glad you have that support, for
Yes,
sure.
ma'am.
You know, a lot of people are posting their feelings on social media, and you're beginning to hear it's great to post, but you have to act.
Yes, ma'am.
So what is your word to your fellow students? How do we act? How do we move forward?
Absolutely. I think phase one is to educate yourselves. There's so much material out there about what's going on and how it's affecting people, and I think it's incredibly important that you take the time to understand, because it's going to help you be a better friend or colleague or peer, whatever that looks like. It's important to educate yourself on all perspectives. So over the past couple weeks, I've been doing a lot of learning about all types of different views about what's going on, so that I can be a better representative of all those students that I serve, which is about 30,460. So I want to make sure that I'm doing my best to represent all of those different perspectives as well. Secondly, I think it's just important that you show empathy during this time, and I could not stress that enough. People are really hurting and people are really struggling, and I know I've been one of those people, but because of the empathy that's been exhibited to me through those people that I mentioned earlier, it's been helping me get through it a lot better, and just them being willing to have a listening ear and empathize with me what I'm experiencing. So I think those are the two most important things that people can be doing.
Now, you brought up something in the campaign that's coming up a lot now that we need to do more of, and that's healthy dialogue. And you said if elected, you would create a program to encourage healthy dialogue around issues of diversity. Have your plans changed at all with that, or have they intensified, I should probably say, in light of what's happening?
Absolutely. So as you know, that's definitely something that I wanted to emphasize during the campaign, and I never, ever could have anticipated this, nor would I have wanted to, but it's definitely helped steer that conversation of emphasizing why all of this is so important and why it's so important that we have these conversations, start to talk about these things and have that cultural competency. So that we just identified our executive goals for the year, and cultural competency is number 3 on that list. So we're really emphasizing rolling out that program so that students can be more aware of the world around them and be a better global citizen and better friend to those around them as well.
That is great. You know, you made history.
Yes, ma'am.
When you were elected 4 short months ago. It feels like 4 years in some ways with everything that's gone on in the world. So I do have to ask, do you feel extra weight on your shoulders being the first African-American woman to serve as SGA president at Auburn University?
Absolutely. There's no guidebook to this, right? So I make the running joke that I'm working on my first manuscript of how to be the first Black female SGA president during a global pandemic and Black Lives Matter movement for dummies. So don't you worry, pre-orders will be available soon.
I'm not to hand that. Yes.
But it has been quite the challenge, and especially with everything going on, there's additional pressure I mean, one, you want to represent yourself well, but two, there's a whole community of students that you're informally representing as well. And so, you want to lead by example, and you want to do a good job, and you want to make sure that it's easier for the next Black female to come after you, right? But especially with everything that's been going on, it's incredibly difficult to navigate my space in all of this. Obviously, I'm very personally invested in everything that's going on, but how do I navigate that and still represent each individual student, encompassing all that is Auburn, which is a part of our mission statement with SGA. So the pressure is definitely on, but like I said, I've got an incredible support system of administrators and my team and my advisors that are going to kind of helping me navigate it day by day.
Yeah. Well, we're especially proud of you here in the College of Human Sciences, being a global studies student as well. And your global studies focuses on critical thinking and having a broader view, a global view of the world rather than in your own little circle. How vital is that way of thinking today?
Oh, it's so critical, and I cannot stress how imperative it's been for me as I've been leading in SGA. A couple of tools that we learned, like cultural competency, and like problem-based learning, which is essentially where you're given a problem with no precedent and you're asked to fix it, which is basically what I've been thrown into for the last 3 months. So I cannot tell you how much that curriculum has served me just in the short time that I've served as SGA president, and I know it will beyond, but like you said, those skills are so important for everybody, right? So cultural competency, especially now, critical thinking. No one ever could have expected a global pandemic, and we've all had to navigate that without any precedent. So this has definitely helped prepare me, and it's so incredibly important for all of our students to be learning. So very thankful for that program and what it does.
Well, what is a word of hope that you can share with your peers and your professors too, as we all prepare to come back on campus? Here at Auburn, we're all about family.
Yes, ma'am.
So how do we come back in light of all that is happening, united in spirit?
Absolutely. I think, you hit the nail on the head, just to be a good family member. Families disagree. I've got 2 siblings, so I can very much testify to that. Families disagree, and they tuffle, and they fight, and things happen, but at the end of the day, you're going to support that family member. You're always going to be there for that family member. You're going to stand up for that family member no matter what. And I think it's so important that we do that now. There are going to be people that are coming from this experience very broken and very hurt and very frustrated and looking to where to turn next. And there are going to be people who may have lost loved ones to COVID-19. And there are going to be people whose families experienced economic hardships because of COVID-19. And so you never know what people are going to be walking back to campus with, right? And the stories behind their eyes. And so it's so important that we be those great family members to each and every member of the Auburn family as we start to come back in the fall. And if we can do that, I think we can stand united in that.
Yeah. An encouraging word to end on. Thank you for being our first official guest. Couldn't have had a better one.
Absolutely happy to.
Yeah. We'll talk more with this being your year as president, I know for sure.
Yes, ma'am, of course.
Watch for another In the Halls of Spidal next month, another conversation on improving quality of life for all and changing the world. Take care.